Well, as summer winds down and the seasons begin to change, now is really the time to look back at how Americans spent their summer traveling and what they're looking forward to most experiencing in the fall. Joining us now to talk travel and hosting trends is the communication lead for North America at Airbnb, Liz DeBold Fusco. Thanks so much for joining us, Liz. How did you find that Americans really spent their summer vacations in 2021? And what was that economic impact for Airbnb?
Yeah, to kick off this summer, we shared how after a year of isolation, consumers were eager to begin traveling again. And, we really saw that this summer they did start traveling again, largely to seek quality time with loved ones. We saw families flocking to remote destinations from the big cities. We saw people planning trips near national and state parks. And actually, a few weeks ago, Airbnb reached our biggest night ever in the U.S. with more than 4 million guests staying on Airbnb. And I think it's really important to note this created a lot of opportunities for our host community. This past summer, U.S. hosts on Airbnb earned more than $1.3 billion, whether it was from just sharing their space while they were away to pay for their vacation or creating and sharing one-of-a-kind unique stays. And actually, to kick off the season, we launched a new host onboarding process to make it easier than ever to become a host. And new hosts have really taken advantage of that. Actually, we shared some of our top 10 most profitable areas for new Airbnb hosts in the US recently. And one of those areas is right here in California, with new hosts in Los Angeles earning $6.2 million in the first half of 2021.
That makes sense. So do you know yet now what the fall travel trends will be?
Yeah, with summer winding down and seasons beginning to change, we're seeing a couple of really big trends. First, guests are planning on longer stays. And this is in part due to the fact that remote working is continuing into the fall, which is allowing guests to plan workations and extend trips just, beyond just a weekend. Longer weekend trips with families are up 70% from 2019 to 2021. And specifically, this Labor Day weekend alone, a large share of trips are 7 nights or longer. And the other trend that we're seeing is that searches for stays in large and mid-sized cities make up about a third of searches each for fall. In fact, 60% of long-term nights booked this fall are in cities like Los Angeles and a number of cities across California. And we think this is in part because guests are excited to maybe enjoy some lovely urban fall activities, whether it's apple picking or leaf peeping or going to a pumpkin patch, things that we missed over this past year and a half.
That's good to know. And do you think there'll be a big return to big events? Will that really affect the trends?
Yeah, big events are coming back and guests are really eager to attend them. Actually, a lot of top trending destinations for this fall are cities that are welcoming back, whether it's iconic sports competitions or major music festivals like the Made in America Festival in Philadelphia or Astroworld in Houston. I'll give you an example with the biennial Ryder Cup, which is going to come back to Whistling Straits in Wisconsin at the end of September. We actually saw that from June to July, searches for accommodations around the Ryder Cup have increased by over 40%. And, that's something that we've long played a role in at Airbnb, helping cities use existing space to scale accommodations and absorb influx of guests. And that is, again, good news for local hosts in these areas who can open up their homes, as well as for local economies as guests come into town, spend money in local restaurants, support local shops. That's especially important post-pandemic.
All great information to know. Thank you so much, Liz. Where can our viewers go to learn more?
Yeah, you can always go to Airbnb.com to find places to stay, or if you're in a place that's going to be welcoming a big event soon, or maybe is a fall destination, you can go to Airbnb.com/host to get started as an Airbnb host.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Liz, for all the good information.